National Collegiate Wrestling Championships, some not-so-familiar names would provide the headlines, such as Wade Schallis, Michigan State's brother actor Pat Milkovich and his older brother Tom, and Iowa State's giant 409-pound Chris Taylor, who suddenly would become the United States Olympic hopeful at heavyweight. By the final round, Iowa State had clinched its third team title in the last 4 years, so the 12,500 wrestling fans who packed Cole Fieldhouse on the University of Maryland campus concentrated on the individual matches, like this one at 118 pounds. Craig Johnson in green and white from Michigan State goes against Oklahoma's Gary Brees. Johnson is shooting for his third straight individual title, a feat never accomplished before by a Spartan wrestler. From a tie-up, Brees forces the takedown to grab a 2-0 lead. Johnson sits out for an escape 2-1 as the first period ends. Into the second period, Johnson has control. Brees finished third last year behind Johnson and Tom Schuler of Navy. Brees almost reverses, but finally gets the escape. A bad break here for Brees. He falls backward, and that's too much of an opportunity for Johnson. He ties up the match with a takedown. Brees escapes from the whistle with a quick move. Johnson holds on in the neutral position and finally grabs Brees' leg for a takedown and a 5-4 lead. Brees ties the score with an escape. But Johnson gets the advantage again with a takedown. 7-5 after 2 periods. Johnson adds an escape in the third period and gets a point for riding time to win 9-5. Greg Johnson of Michigan State climbs to the top of the award stand for his third time to join such past 3-time winners as Oklahoma's Dan Hodge, Oklahoma State's Myron Roderick, the Perrys, Rex, Hugh, and Ed, and Lehigh's Mike Caruso. The 177-pound match had John Panning of Minnesota against Washington's Bill Murdoch here in black. Panning provided an interesting story to this meet. Panning didn't even win his weight class in the Big Ten championships. Iowa's John Ebashevsky did, but he has pinned his way to the finals, disposing of 4 opponents by falls. Ebashevsky, by the way, was defeated in the preliminaries. Murdoch, lifting Panning's leg, finally gets the takedown for a 2-0 lead in the first period. The second period produced a penalty point for Panning as the referee called Murdoch for locked hands. Now in the third period with Panning up, Panning rides too high and Murdoch goes out the back door. 2 points for reversal. Murdoch gets a cradle and is working for a pin. Points for a predicament to lead 6-1 with only a minute left in the match. Panning will need a pin now to win. Murdoch has him in trouble again. Works for the pin, but his biggest opponent is the clock. Time runs out. But Murdoch gets 3 points for the near fall, a point for riding time. And Bill Murdoch of the University of Washington is the 177-pound champion with a 10-1 decision over John Panning of the University of Minnesota. Murdoch is only the second individual champion from Washington. The next 5 matches will involve the 5 finalists from team champion Iowa State. At 1:34, the Cyclones' Phil Parker takes down Clarion State's Gary Barton. At the whistle, Parker turns Barton and works for the fall. Barton avoids disaster, but Parker goes up 4-0 with the 2 predicament points. In the second period, Parker escapes for a 5-0 lead. Parker finished 3rd last year in this weight class. Barton tries an arm drag but can't get the advantage. Barton finally gets the takedown and gets on the scoreboard. Barton cradles Parker and turns him over. The period ends, but Barton has tied it up with that near fall. Now the third period with Parker up. Barton stands and reverses. Taking Parker to the mat, Barton now has the lead 7-5. An amazing comeback from the Clarion State product. He was down 5-0. Parker, needing points, escapes. He now trails by 1. The end would be unusual. Both wrestlers are tired, but Parker is behind and needs points. Both wrestlers are struggling, but this is still the neutral position. Still neutral at this point. Time has run out, but the referee doesn't know it. He gives Parker 2 points for a takedown and Barton a point for an escape. Note the towel in the right-hand corner. The timer threw it in when the referee didn't hear the buzzer. This takedown by Barton also doesn't count. When the controversy is solved, no points were awarded for that last flurry. Barton wins by decision 8-6, including a point for riding time. A proud moment for Gary Barton from Clarion State. The previous week, Barton could manage only a 3rd in the 134-pound class at the College Division Championships. Now he's won it all. In the 158-pound match, 2 defending champions. Iowa State's Carl Adams won this weight class last year. His opponent, Stan Ziedzik of Slippery Rock, was the 150-pound champion in 1971, leading 1-0 in the second period on an escape. Adams shoots for the takedown. He gets it, and Ziedzik escapes immediately. Adams 3-1 in the third period. Adams up. Ziedzik works for the escape, cuts the margin to 3-2. Adams goes for a single leg takedown and gets the 2 points before both go out of bounds. With Adams in control, Ziedzik turns over for an escape. Adams still leads 5-3 with a little over a minute left. Ziedzik is now desperate for points. Adams moves around back for a takedown. Then with time running out, Adams lets Zizik up for an escape. Adams decisions Zizik 7-4 for the 158-pound championship. For the second straight year, Carl Adams has won the individual title. And for the second straight year, Adams failed to win his weight class in the Big 8 championships, but came back to win the nationals. At 167, Keith Abens of Iowa State will try to dethrone Andy Matter of Penn State. Matter is one of 6 who made it to the finals. Here in the first period, Matter goes in front 2-0 with his takedown. With Matter in control, Abens tries to stand. He grabs hold of Matter's leg. He works for control at the edge of the mat. He finally gets it to score the reversal and tie the match at 2-2. Matter escapes at the buzzer. The second period produces no scoring. Matter adds an escape in the third period and is also awarded a penalty point for Abens stalling. With a point for riding time, Andy Matter successfully defends his 167-pound title by a 6-2 decision over Iowa State's Keith Abens. In the 190-pound match, again another Iowa State wrestler and again a defending champion. The Cyclones' Ben Peterson won the crown last year and now tried to hold on to it against Princeton's Emile Deliere. Deliere comes out the aggressor, but still has not gained control for the takedown points. Still no control. Peterson throws Deliere over his hip and works for the advantage. He gets it and goes up 2-0. Deliere appears to be in pain. The wrestlers go out of bounds and an injury timeout has been called. It appears to be Deliere's back. He has decided to continue with the match. Peterson up. Deliere stands and tries to escape. Peterson puts him down on the mat and scores a predicament to go up 4-0. As Peterson rides Deliere, you can see the pain that Deliere is in. At the 1-minute, 53-second part of the match, Deliere decides that he cannot continue. Hunched over in pain, Deliere congratulates Peterson. Iowa State's Ben Peterson adds the second individual title to Iowa State's list and also wins his second straight championship at 190 pounds. At heavyweight, everybody's been talking about Iowa State's Chris Taylor. While his size was the original point of discussion, everybody is now talking about his wrestling ability. Underneath Taylor is the defending champion, Greg Wojciechowski of Toledo. Taylor is somewhere over 400 pounds. Wojciechowski is 260. Here is the second period. Taylor will ride for the full 3 minutes. Wojciechowski is warned for